Red Arrow's plane has crashed at an air base with reports that 2 pilots were ejected. An air ambulance was scrambled to RAF Valley on Anglesey in North Wales after the Hawk aircraft crashed shortly before 1:30 p.m. today. Dramatic pictures showed a plume of black smoke at the base as witnesses claimed they saw the aircraft burst into flames. 2 people are believed to have been on board the flight before it crashed, although a witness says they saw an ejection. The RAF said an investigation had been launched into the crash, but were unable to go into further details. An eyewitness told the Daily Post that they saw someone parachute from the plane before it crashed. They said, "I was sat at Rhosneigr train station waiting for the train, and you can see the airfield from there, and I was watching the Red Arrow flying, because you hardly ever see them, and then it looked like it was about to land. The next thing I saw was the parachute, and then the plane hit the runway and went up in flames." Deno James, who took the above photographs, said, "I was near the compound and the plane came around to do a practice landing on the runway. It missed the runway and landed at the left-hand side. TWO pilots were ejected about 200 yards from the ground." Deno added, "I pulled up for a moment in my truck watching and watched the plane come over my head. I know it was a Red Arrow because I've seen them at an air display before." A spokesman for the Welsh Ambulance Service said, "We were called shortly before 1:30 p.m. this afternoon to reports an aircraft had crashed at RAF Valley in Holyhead. There is an emergency ambulance and a Wales Air ambulance at the scene. The public have been asked to avoid the area by police. RAF Valley is a base used to train UK fighter pilots and aircrew for mountain and maritime operations. An RAF spokesperson said, "We are aware of an incident today at RAF Valley involving a Hawk aircraft. We are investigating the incident, and it would be inappropriate to comment further at this stage." Rob Jones, manager of nearby Anglesey Golf Club, told The Guardian, "I heard an almighty bang. It sounded like a cannon going off. I don't know if that's from the ejector seat, but some of the golfers saw a parachute. I'm overlooking the runway now from about quarter of a mile away. I heard a bang, and I went to the door and all I could see was plumes of black smoke coming up." Caterer Anne Wilson, who works at the Anglesey Golf Club, witnessed the aftermath of the crash. She said, "There was a big fireball and lots of dark smoke." A spokesman for North Wales Police said they were called at 1:50 p.m. and officers are currently on the scene, but were unable to give further information. A North Wales Fire and Rescue Service spokeswoman confirmed they had been called to an incident involving an aircraft at 1:56 p.m. The BBC have reported the aircraft was flying from RAF Valley back to RAF Scampton, Lincolnshire, where they are based when it crashed. The famous aerobatic Red Arrows were at the base, where Prince William served as a search and rescue helicopter pilot, preparing for the coming display season. The Red Arrows, or the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, are one of the world's premier aerobatic display teams. Based at RAF Scampton in Lincolnshire, all Red Arrows pilots have flown operationally in frontline aircraft before joining the display team. The Red Arrows team perform at RAF Valley most years as part of a family day for the family of servicemen who work at the base. In total, about 1,500 service personnel, civil servants and contractors work at the site. Britain is no stranger to air accidents involving fighter planes, with 5 crashes recorded in recent years. 11 men were killed in August 2015 when a vintage Hawker Hunter jet plummeted onto the A27 in West Sussex during a loop-the-loop stunt at the Shoreham Air Show. A further 13 people, including the pilot Andy Hill, were injured. The disaster led to the cancellation of the Red Arrows performing stunts at the Farnborough Air Show for the first time in more than 50 years over safety fears. Also in August that year, the RAF trained fast jet pilot Kevin Wyman, 35, was killed when his Bull&Nad aircraft plummeted during an aerial display at the Carfest event in Oulton Park, Cheshire. In November 2011, the highly experienced Red Arrows pilot Sean Cunningham, 35, was fatally injured when he was ejected from the cockpit of a Hawk T1 aircraft while on the ground at RAF Scampton, Lincolnshire. A coroner ruled that the safety pin on the ejector seat had been entirely useless. Red Arrows Flight Lieutenant John Egging, 33, was flying a Hawk T1 in August 2011 when it came down into a field after he pulled 6 times the force of gravity at an air show near Bournemouth Airport, killing him instantly. James Bond stuntman Brian Brown, 49, died in September 2007 when he crashed a Second World War Hurricane after carrying out an unplanned barrel roll at a reenactment of the Battle of Britain at Shoreham Air Show, West Sussex. The Red Arrows are a world-famous aerobatic team, performing stunts and daredevil displays in the distinctive Hawk fast jets. Based at RAF Scampton in Lincolnshire, their usual display covers an area over 6 miles, with jets flying as close as 15 feet apart at more than 400 miles an hour, sometimes flying just 100 feet above the ground. Some 1,500 service personnel, civil servants and contractors work at RAF Valley on Anglesey, which is also home to the military's search and rescue post-crash team.